This is Truth Wins Every Time. My name is Briscoe. Today I'm going to bring to you two different YouTube channels that are reporting the same thing about the moon. And that this one here that I have on the screen right now is by Enslaved by No Media. And it is titled The Moon Mystery, Trying to Figure Out the Moon. Basically what he says is that he's been watching the moon for many years now, and it seems he's no closer to an answer as to what the moon is than when he first lays eyes on it. The moon is a mystery, and if you look long enough, you'll find some answers. He claims it's close, and I have got to agree with that. I believe that after seeing this footage, as well as the footage from Donnie of Daytona, that something is going on with the moon. And so right now, right here, I paused it at 3:57 on Enslaved by No Media's video. I'll put the links for these two videos in the description below. And if you notice, he points arrows to where the sun hits the moon and then craters are seen at the light's edge. Now, let me go to the very next tab over. This one is called Scariest Skywatch Video I Ever Produced. And as far as Donnie of Daytona, if you look on his video, now both videos were recorded with high zoom cameras. I believe Enslaved by No Media is using a Nikon P1000. I also believe that Donnie is using the same camera. Could be a Nikon P900, which is just the model below or before that. Anyway, the detail on these high zoom cameras is absolutely incredible. These are the same cameras they use to pull ships back into view when not being able to be seen past the convergence of what we see as the sky meeting the horizon. So again, look at this video. I paused this one at 1:52, and if you notice, look at how it's not a flat, what do they call that? Terminator line. So we're seeing most likely a 2D object with 3D textures. Now, another thing about the moon, and this is what leads me to believe that the moon is local. And when I say local, it is much closer to us than 239,000 miles as NASA claims. So let's jump to 550 in this video, The Moon Mystery, Trying to Figure Out the Moon. And here he is going to basically, he's filming the moon, but he's able to, at least by what we can tell, that the moon is amidst a bunch of clouds. So let's take a look at that. You can see that the clouds behind the moon are being illuminated. And then look at this right here. You can only see it when it's in motion, but as the moon ascends in the view of the video, you can see some form of off-gassing or smoke or something happening from the bottom of the moon. Let's take a look at that. Now he's put this in purple so that you're able to better see what is actually going on. But look at that right there. Look how that is actually trailing with the moon. Sorry about that. Let me go ahead and go back real quick. Okay, sorry about that. Let me go back there real quick because there was something he had said that was pertinent to that point of the video. Okay, so this is where he color enhanced purple. so that we can better see what I just talked about with what's coming off of the moon itself. Look at that. If it's not local, then why do our local clouds get affected like this? Now he throws it into yellow. Again, you can see a reaction of some kind of the atmosphere to the movement of the moon. That's another thing he mentions too, is about the brightness of the moon. That's something I've noticed also on my own personal accord, is that it does seem like the moon, when I'm able to see it, I live out here in the Pacific Northwest, at the south end of the Puget Sound. And when I can get a view of the moon at night, when there's no clouds, the moon most certainly seems much brighter than what I remember it being as a kid. And then, I'm learning all different kinds of things about the moon through different YouTube channels from people who are actually taking the time to go out and spend their time with equipment that is not cheap. And these people are bringing this stuff back to us to let us know that there are things going on up there that we're missing, either because we don't have the technology like they do to see it, or we're so self-absorbed in our day-to-day routine that we take no time to look up, or we have become so indoctrinated with the teachings from the church, the teachings from the state, and now that's kind of like one big burrito. And now you've got this thing called Facebook, where people think Facebook is some kind of a social justice, moral compass type of platform, when really it's not. It is actually a platform that is designed for democracy, which democracy does not work. It just does not work. This country was founded on a republic, and all this stuff comes into question when you start realizing the level of lies that we have experienced going all the way back in time, and what it has done to humanity over that time. So I highly encourage you to check out Enslaved by No Media. Go to his channel, like, subscribe, definitely share. He doesn't have, and with YouTube algorithms, it's hard to tell whether he really has had only 3.1 thousand views or if he's had more. He's got 400 likes, 9 dislikes. And then, let's go over to this Donnie of Daytona video again. And again, if just down here scrubbing across the video, look, if you go to 328, he's already talking about UFO satellites or something else. Look for all the little white lights, which when you're watching the video, actually, let's go ahead and, okay, look at that. Right there, something's going on with what he is videotaping. And the other thing too, I don't remember, or maybe just because my mind wasn't in tune to it, but I don't ever remember seeing necessarily the rest of the moon like you have in this shot here that's not lit up. Usually whenever I saw the waxing or waning moon, from my vantage point, all I could see was the part that was lit up. Now, scriptures say the moon is the lesser of 2 sources of light that God created, or something I'm still trying to personally figure out is The validity of the Old Testament, I believe there's a lot of truth in it, but anyway, so it does go back to that time. We really don't know what the moon is. We certainly have never landed on it. I personally don't think it's a physical object like NASA has presented to us, a big rock out in the space, which we can't even get to space because we can't get past what NASA calls the Van Allen belts, which are also known as the firmament. Some people call it the dome. Either way, we're not able to get past that certain point. And there is something, because even if, and I don't believe that, but even if space did exist the way NASA says, the vacuum is so great out there that we would have to have some kind of protective barrier over the Earth to keep us from being affected by the vacuum. But the only way you can have that happen is if it's a solid barrier. Gases, as far as the atmosphere, that barrier, that's not strong enough to stop the vacuum of space. But again, I digress. There is no vacuum in space because there is no space. It's water out there. That's why when you go to some of these videos where they show stars, it's nothing like what NASA presents to us as far as stars. And then you got the wandering stars, which other people call, or NASA calls, planets, which are not planets. They're just wandering luminaries. And if you look at the people who zoom in with their high-powered telescopes and cameras on these stars and wandering stars, you will see that they look nothing like what NASA shows us at all. In fact, what they look like is some kind of light source either going through water or in water. So I'm going to keep this brief at this point, but I just wanted to share with you something is going on with the moon right now. I don't know where you are on this earth, but take the time when it becomes night, if you're up, to go out and at least view the sky for a few minutes every night just to see if there's any activity out there. And if you do see activity, report it. The more people that report activity out there, the more we can hopefully better take the puzzle pieces and start putting things together. So just wanted to let you know, the Father loves you. He believes in you. Don't forget him. And I'm signing off. This is Briscoe from The Truth Wins Every Time. Until next time.